Hey, what's up, Alva and Crop with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about Harvest, and we're going to talk about Alva. We were trying out a crop rotation strat, and I figured I'd throw Alva in there as well. And boy oh boy, the currency is insane. The per map returns is a lot. So for our tree, we'll just go over it very quickly. We're taking Harvest everything we can, except for the chance to get the Sacred Grove, because we're using a Scarab to force it. For our crop rotation strat, we're just going negative yellow as much as possible, and then a little bit negative on the blue and purple. This is mathematically the most likely way to get good results for ourselves. We're taking blue altars, we're taking Eldritch Gaze, we're taking shrines just because it makes the maps easier. We're taking as much increased map modifier effect as possible because that juices our harvest up, and then we're taking the Alva node, so we're taking time dilation over here, we're taking resource allocation and contested development, we're taking artifacts of the Vaal and Vaal oligarchs. The Vaal flesh merchants I have found have been responsible for, I think, a lot of divine drops, and then treasure hunters as well. Incursions in your maps contain cursed treasures. In the future I would actually drop these and almost all of the Alva stuff apart from this one, which just gives you extra time, this one which gives you 4, and these two here which add the increased chance to get the Architect's Room added at the end, because we're forcing Alva with a Scarab as well. We're using an Incursion Scarab, and the Flesh Merchants and the Cursed Treasures, I'm not sure they actually gave as much as I thought they would, but let's skip over that. So this is what our tree looks like. Just, you know, it features a lot of the usual suspects, especially shrines. And then for our map device, we're throwing in, as I said, Incursion Scarab, a Harvest Scarab. We're chucking in a Sacrifice fragment because that gives us a little bit extra quantity in the map. We're using a Harvest Scarab of doubling because this doubles the amount of money we get out. We're using a 8 mod corrupted Jungle Valley. So Jungle Valley doesn't have a boss on it until when you start the map. So all of the altars you get, all of the blue altars, they are all player or Eldritch minion related when you get them. Let's take a look at our temple here. So we're also using an Incursion Scarab of timelines. This means the final architect in the area will drop an itemized temple when you finish the last incursion, and it's going to be random room tiers. So if we look here, I bought 50 of these, but we didn't use them all. So if you see here, we've got a Gemcutter's Workshop and a Catalyst of Corruption. Now this is only a tier 2, this is a tier 3. What we're looking for is obviously tier 3 on Catalyst of Corruption, because Locus of Corruption is around 2 divines, 2.2, something like that, and Gemcutter's Workshop is around 60C, 70C, something like that. These we want to have tier 3. So if we drop a randomized temple with this exact layout, except with these as tier 1 to 3, then we've got a 2 in 3 chance of getting either 60C or 2 point something divines. And these Scarabs, I think I paid 22C for them. They've gone up a little bit, they've gone down a little bit. You can buy them on Faustus. If you go here and say, I want an Incursion Scarab of Timelines, then you can see here somebody's selling for 1 for 23, but also somebody's buying 3,040 of them for 20C each. So you could be the person that offers 21C, and then you will skip ahead of this person who's buying 3,040 of them. That's what I did. I was doing a different strat, and I just put an order in on Faustus and then let them roll in as and when they did. So the Catalyst of Corruption, we want this to be, ideally, we're going to do a map right now, but we want this to be ideally a tier 3, and this one to be tier 3 as well. And I would always check the temple layout from Alva and then make a call on whether I was going to use this Scarab or not. I think we used 45 of them in the 50 test. So let's go take a look at what a map looks like. Pretty much here we're just going with quantity of items found in area because, again, it's a harvest strat, so we want the quantity. So as soon as we get into the map, I'm just going to start running around, and the Wildwood was in a few of them. You can do the Wildwood if you want. I don't think it really affects much. Ideally, we're just looking to spawn altars for our Eldritch altars. Here we go. So I'm taking everything that's, not a divine altar. I have found none. Not a divine altar, we're just taking the increased quant as much as we can. And then as soon as we find the... Oh, Grand Eldritch Ichor. This is actually the things I would take instead of the Quant. This is the only thing I would really take other than, obviously, a Divine Shrine, because these are 2-point-something chaos, and you get a lot of them. So here we go. We've got a Trap Workshop. This one, we're just going to upgrade it. The only things you really want to upgrade are Shrine of Empowerment, because it means that these things around it can get upgraded. So like our Gemcutter's Workshop, and then, you know, Catalyst of Corruption and Gemcutter's Workshop. So the only things we're really looking for, it's pretty simple. We're looking for those 3 things. Here's a Cursed Treasure. This actually removes time from your incursion timer. Sometimes I may or may not have, I will refer you to my lawyer, but I may or may not have just opened an incursion, clicked that, and then the time instantly ran out, and then I was booted out straight away. I don't know who would have done that, but certainly not me. So we've got 2 of these kidney stones of passage, and we can just go and open a couple of these passages here. You can always click the there's a button for interfacing with the League mechanic. Usually I think it's V or B by default. I have mine bound to my mouse, so I can just do this. Quite useful. And then that's it. And as soon as we're out, then we're going to carry on. I'm going to loot this later on so we can see, just we can get straight to the good parts here. So we take, again, another quantity altar. Found a Var Pyramid map. That's pretty unusual. Here's another Alva. So we go in here and it's just Surveyor's Study. There's nothing we really need here. We're just going to run around and kill everything, because we don't need to unlock one of these rooms. We don't need to change one of these rooms. I did 50 maps in total, and obviously 50 is not dividable by 3 because we're taking, there's 12 incursions in total when building a temple, and we've got 4 incursions for each map. So, you know, 48 is divisible by 3, but 50 is not. So this is the 50, this would have been the 51st one we would have done. And again, we're just going to look around for the rest of these quant altars. Also, we're going to try and, you know, I take these crimson ores just because they're quick. Not too much to worry about. And then we've got a flame workshop. This is not that useful. If I find a Shrine of Empowerment, then I try to not upgrade, or I try to upgrade the room, but I try to not open too many passageways to it, because I think the first tier upgrades 1 connected room, the second tier upgrades 2 connected rooms, random connected rooms, and the third tier upgrades every room, whether it's connected or not. And that's, if you have 3 connected rooms and your Locus of Corruption could have been one of them, but it wasn't because you chose poorly when choosing which ones to connect, then that, it really feels sucky. So I usually try to hedge my bets a little bit by not doing that, by not connecting too many things to the Shrine of Empowerment, because this is only a tier 1 Shrine of Empowerment. So this is the last incursion we have here, and this is what I did. I would just came in here and just click these, and then, you know, I've not got much time left already. But with all the nodes that give you magic packs, then really you get a lot of time when you're doing when you're killing magic packs. There's also one of the other nodes which grants us extra time whilst doing the incursions. I think it's double time for killing them, for killing monsters, and that really allows you to wander around and take all the cursed treasures if you can. So that's the end of our incursions. We've got a couple more of these Eldritch Shrines, and here is our Chronicle of Atsuatl, and if we price check it, we can see we got a Locus of Corruption and a Doriani's, so we got 2 things that are great. So that's another 2 divines easily. It says 1.6, but if you are selling, if you're selling on the site that shall not be named, then you're going to get, I think it's 1 div in bulk if you have them for the Doriani's Institute, and 2 divs in bulk for Locuses of Corruption, and then 2.2 for a Locus and a Doriani's. We've got to the harvest now. This is the worst possible thing you could get. no yellow plots. So this is very, very upsetting. I'm going to show you what I would do. Basically, I'm going to use blue as a substitute for yellow in this. We're just going to upgrade the blue as much as possible. So we just take purple everywhere we can. There's a blue over here. There's a blue purple at the top. We've taken both of these purple plots down here. So we'll go and have a look at go and count the seeds over here. We've got 2 and 11. Not very much. If this blue is not that great, it's 1. I'm going to sacrifice this one, and hopefully we will get more than 3 or more on the lower, or the left-hand blue plot. We got 4, so that was a worthwhile gamble. Doing crop rotation in T17s is incredible money. I did a couple. There's a lot, you can make a lot of life force. But just doing this, even though we failed horribly, I think this was the second one out of the 51 that we've done that had no yellow on it. And even then, we got 30C in blue and nothing in red. Anyway, I'm going to loot the map, and let's come back and talk about the costs and returns. All right, so talking about the returns, we should also go and take our temple from Alva. This one's not going to be very good because it's if we do this, we can see it's just got the apex is a 3C temple. I would count that as not being a temple at all, so I'll just put that one in there. Now for our temples, we've got, so these on the left here, these are all trash. They're all junk. I've separated them so the area level 1 is at the top and area level 83 is at the bottom, and the difference is whether it came from the incursion scarab of timelines or not. So if it comes from an incursion scarab of timelines, then it's area level 1 all the time. And if it's something that you get from Alva, something you picked out from Alva, then it's area level 83, or rather, if you're doing T16, it's area level 83. It's an average, I think, of the number of maps that you did it across, so the item level of the maps. And if we take a quick look here, these are all our regular Doriani's Institute maps, or chronicles that are level 1. These are the ones we got from Alva. These are Locus of Corruption ones, and these are the ones we got from Alva. These are the ones that dropped from the Scarab. And then these ones are here are the Locus and Doriani's, and these are the ones that we took from Alva as well. And so we got 6 total that we managed to upgrade fully. Now, I've got some stats here as well. So this is just the money from these. So all in all, our temples gave us 5,830 chaos across 50 maps, and that's just, it's nuts. It's so much money. It really, really is a lot. So if we got our calculator here, so 5,830 divided by 50. So we're looking at, whoops, that was times. 5,830 divided by 50 is 116C per temple, whether they're good or not. And we got 51 total temples, so we got more temples than we ran maps, just by a hair. I would say you get on average 1 temple per map. So already we're making 116C per map just in temples. Now if we go and look at our costs and returns, we have 50 maps. I actually farmed these myself. I was doing a T16 8 mod farm. I think I'll probably do that a lot more throughout the league as well. We've got our Harvest Scarab of doubling. We've got the Harvest Scarabs, Incursion Scarabs of tie lines. Now, again, I said we bought 50. We only used 45 of them, so I actually included the other 5 in the returns because it's returned to us, I suppose. You could take it out if you want to. Sacrifice Fragment, 1C, maybe. You could probably buy them for half a C each. So, total expenditure was 3,200 chaos, and per map we're investing 64C. So it's a medium tier investment. It's not, 2 divines, it's not 17C, it's somewhere in the middle. As far as our juice came back with 6,858 chaos, I think I priced all this very conservatively. So if we look at this is the loot we got 4 T17 Abomination map. We only got 3 Sacred Blossoms, but again, we're making our we're creating our own T4 seeds. We got 152,768 yellow juice. This is a lot, and yellow juice right now is selling for one div for 3,000. So if you go here and you look, oh, it's 1,000, one for 3,300. If you click on this stock 50k, you can see people are selling one for 3,000, and this just liquidates like that in Faustus. You just chuck this in, and you'll do a map, and you'll come back, and you'll have, what do we got here? 50 divs in just yellow juice. So 50 divines in yellow juice. It's a lot. We also found an enhance and an empower. I think this might have been due to the Vile Flesh Merchants and the Sacred Treasures. We got a lot more blueprints than we're used to getting, but we got, generally very good currency returns. We got some things. I actually found my first Svalin. Nice. Been looking for this the whole league. Finally got one. So as far as our investment goes, 64C went in, and then our harvest stuff, it's just mostly yellow juice. Mostly yellow juice that we're making the money on. We're making, very little, like 2 divs on blue and purple juice, 2-ish divs on, less than 2 divs on Sacred Blossoms. Temples, 5,750. This is, again, I've priced this lower because I think it's much more useful to price things lower and give you an actual better result. So we're looking at 17,000 chaos back, 17,738, and our per map returns are 354C, which is just, it's nutty. Now, this means that per map profit, you're looking at 290 chaos, which is insane, but the div per hour is quite low, and that's because these maps take a while. I think I was peaking out at in between 6 and 8 minutes, or 6 and 7.5 minutes. So I'm going to say conservatively 7 minutes per map. So that comes around to 12.7 divs per hour. Even though you're pulling a couple of divs in just pure profit out of each one, they do take a little while to run. And that's because we're doing the harvest and we're doing Alva. Now, I think if you had an optimized build for Alva, that would be the best thing. Because with the harvest, you have to do all the altars. And the altars take a while. I've got some stats here for it. So 108 divs total is our return. And this, again, this is very, very conservatively priced because it's not taking into account bulk pricing for, even for the yellow crystallized life force. Wealthy Exile has that at 37 divs, but as you can see, we got 50, so that's 13 divs off. So this number here is likely much higher. For our temples, it's also very conservatively priced, and it also bunches together Locus of Corruption and Doriani's Institute temples together as well. So these numbers are very, very conservative. I'm going to liquidate all this stuff, but I also have it on PBE Exchange, and it's a very similar number. If I got to take both of these. I forgot to do that. So if we load both of these tabs and we scroll down, we see 108-ish divs. And I've got some stats here for the temples. Again, the amount of junk temples we got was surprisingly low. It was only 18 out of 51, and that's 18 temples that just give you no money back. But then the locuses and the locuses with Doriani's, they give you just insane money. It's really ridiculous. And I know that it's at the end of the league, and obviously locus is much more costly right now because everybody's gambling. Especially that's why the life force for yellow juice is much more expensive. But also at the beginning of the league, it's the Doriani's institutes that are really expensive. It's kind of the other way around. It flips halfway through the league. So this strat, I think, is just... I really didn't think we were going to be pulling 290C out of every map just in profit. If we go 290 divided by 135, so it's 2.1 divs profit per map. It seems insane, but I've got a lot of sorting to do now. I've got a few squires as well, so we're going to double corrupt those. So come and check us out on stream at twitch.tv/lifewithoutpants. We're going to corrupt these and definitely not cry when they all brick, I've got a tab full of broken dreams here. And we'll probably get some more of those. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope this was useful to you. I hope you try out Harvest and Alva together. I'm going to maybe try just Alva and see if I can optimize a build for that, because I think that's going to be a really, really good strat. But that's it for me. I hope you found this really useful. I hope you are kind to everyone you meet. I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.